Welcome to the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers Virtual College Fair. My name is Jasmine. I'm serving as your facilitator for this session today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our amazing presenters at any point throughout our session. Second, your camera and microphone are off, so we are not able to see or hear you. Third, this is just one of many different sessions that is occurring, so feel free to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, this presentation is being recorded, so within about a week or so, you'll have access to this recording in case you miss anything. With that said, I hope everyone has a great time, and I also want to introduce our first presenter, the Carolinas College of Health Sciences.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for letting us steal a little bit of your time today. So I want to go ahead and get our presentation up on the page here for you. Hopefully everyone can see that okay. But my name is Robert. I am the coordinator of admissions and recruitment here at Carolinas College of Health Sciences, and we're really happy to be with you all tonight to share a little bit more about Carolinas College and all that we have to offer for you. A little bit about Carolinas College. We are located in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have a really strong legacy here in the Charlotte area. We are an affiliate of the Atrium healthcare system, so we are directly connected to a healthcare system. We are an health science or allied health science focused institution. We've been in Charlotte since 1940s. We started as a nursing school and have really grown and developed as we've seen the needs throughout the healthcare system grow and change as well. So we've really tried to meet those needs. You can see there our original building made in the 1940s and then our current building right now. A little bit more about Carolinas College. We are a small school, so we have 640 students total enrolled. We have a really small faculty to student ratio, or student to faculty ratio rather, of a 6:1. We have many different programs offered. This is actually a little bit out of date. We've added 2 additional ones since that 13. So we're actually now at 15. And another great fact that a lot of people don't realize about us is that we are part of the Atrium healthcare system. So that gives us a lot of really great benefits. One of those benefits is that we also share our collective mission values with Atrium as well. So really in our institution, what we are really focusing on is being an institution that allows us to educate, engage, and empower professionals to be able to evolve throughout their healthcare profession. And at Carolinas College specifically, we really want to strive to be the first and best choice for healthcare education. And we plan to do all of those things. And a lot of the work that we do, we always maintain our core values of caring, commitment, integrity, and teamwork. Some of the other benefits with our connection with Atrium also offer us a #1 placement for, or #1 priority for clinical placement. So above all other clinical institutions or institutions using Atrium Health as their clinical site, Carolinas College of Health Sciences gets the first pick, which ensures us and helps us to be able to work with our students to make sure that we are getting them into places that they truly have an interest, but also to help cut down on commutes and things like that. So it's a really great perk that we have being affiliated with Atrium. Also job potential. So a lot of our students, almost 86% of our students that graduate actually go into the Atrium healthcare system when working. Also state-of-the-art facilities. Atrium is one of the largest healthcare systems in the United States and is growing continuously. So it gives us a lot of access to all of the different facilities and technology and equipment that Atrium uses as well. And then one of the best perks, I think, is the Atrium Health Loan Forgiveness Program, which we open up to all of our students. They're eligible to apply either $5,000 or $10,000, and it is forgivable if you find job placement within Atrium Health. So it's a really great perk. A little bit more about our different programs, and I don't want to go into too much detail because there are several of them, but I want to be able to get that information on the screen for you. So try to think of it in buckets of 3. So essentially we have a certificate, associate's, and bachelor's degree buckets. For certifications, we offer an NA1 or CNA, some people call it, Nurse Aid 1. We also offer phlebotomy, neurodiagnostic technology. Neurodiagnostic technology is unique in that we offer it at the certificate and the associate's degree level. Along with the NDT associate's degree, we also offer radiologic technology, nursing, and general studies as well. And then for bachelor's degrees, we offer an RN to BSN program, which is 100% online. It's designed for the working nurse. And we also offer healthcare simulation and medical imaging. Looking a little bit ahead to the future, we do offer some additional post-baccalaureate programs at the certificate level, histotechnology, medical laboratory sciences, radiation therapy, mammography. You can see them all listed on the screen there. Not eligible for high school students. You do have to have a bachelor's degree to pursue these programs, but definitely something to keep your eye on for the future. Admission requirements. So our admission requirements will vary program by program. So when you apply to Carolinas College, you actually submit your application directly to your program of interest. But in general, we are looking for a minimum 2.5 GPA. If your program requires SAT or ACT, we are looking for at least a 900 or a 19 on the ACT. And then for some of our programs, we also require the TEAS test, or the test of essential academic skill, which is a healthcare focused test. So, excuse me, y'all, it is pouring rain out here. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but we are looking for a national PR score at the 50th percentile or higher on that TEAS test. Completing the application online is your first step to go ahead and get that application in, and then paying the $60 application fee, which actually is waived through June 30th of this year due to COVID. And then also once you submit that application, then you can begin sending in additional documents such as official high school transcripts, and then SAT, ACT, or TEAS tests if you need to submit those, as well as any certification documents such as a nurse aid if you're going for nursing or things like that. Want to leave you some information to stay connected with us. Our website is always a great place to stay up to date with all of that information, but also our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are also great places if you need our mailing address. It is there. But the best way to contact us right now is through our email. That's admissions@cchsmail.org. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop those in the chat box and I'll try to answer those. But thank you all so much.
Thank you. Up next, we have Gaston College.
Good evening, everyone. I am going to go ahead and share my screen here so you can see my presentation. Let's get this so it looks a little bit cleaner. All right. My name is Megan Lingerfeld, and I am the student recruiter here at Gaston College. And so I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about Gaston College and how we can help you. We are a public door open community college. So we are a 2-year college. And so we offer as high as an associate degree, which you'll see in just a second, some of those options there. And how that helps you is as far as the open door public community college aspect, we are able to help meet students where they're at. So I know this last year especially has been really different for everyone academically, but what we're able to do is we're able to help students who might not be quite ready for the college courses, the main college courses, or maybe some can just step right into it, be academically successful, perfect. But maybe for some who might struggle, especially in those basic subjects, we're able to actually meet you where you're at and help you make sure that you're able to get to that college level course. So we really don't worry about test scores or GPA as far as what you did in high school. We don't necessarily require those as far as the admissions process goes. We're just, trying to meet you where you're at and take you further. We are the 10th largest community college in North Carolina, which is cool. And we have 3 main campus locations. The main campus is here in Dallas, North Carolina. We have the Belmont Campbell campus that's in Belmont, and then we have the Lincoln campus that's in Lincolnton. We do have a 19-to-1 student faculty ratio, and we offer a $76 per credit hour in-state tuition rate, which does help you, especially for those who might want to transfer to the 4-year school. It helps you in saving for your education overall. We have lots of programs for you to choose from, and you can see some of the most popular ones there. College transfer is our most popular program on campus. Over half of our campus is a part of the college transfer program, and I'm going to explain that in just a second. And then you can see some of the more other popular programs as well. Some cool stuff that's coming to GC soon is that we're actually adding athletics to our campus. So we're going to be adding on a men's basketball, men's baseball, women's softball, and women's volleyball team. in the near future. So we're hoping to get some students in to be athletes for us this coming up fall, so that way we can be active in some of those tournaments by the following year. And so stay tuned to be able to learn a little bit more about how GC is going to be looking different in the near future with some colors and mascots. So it's going to be really fun. Just a couple of things to explain since we are a community college. I just wanted you to know what options are out there. The college transfer programs, which as I mentioned, is where you take your general education courses for 2 years here at the community college, and then you transfer those credits to a 4-year school in pursuit of a bachelor's degree. That is the Associate of Arts, Associate of Science are our most popular college transfer programs, but not the only ones that we have. And that can help you save, again, not just financially, but also help you get used to the college experience before you might decide to move off and continue your education elsewhere. We do have the Associate of Applied Science programs, which is also a 2-year program, but it's more geared for students getting back into the workforce right after their education. It's not necessarily designed for transfer, although some of them can. So that's a conversation you can have with your advisor. And then we also do have diplomas and certificate options. Diplomas usually take about 3 semesters, so about a year in length, and then certificates about 1 to 2 semesters. So it's definitely more concentrated pathway for your education, depending upon what program you might be interested in. Speaking of programs, I do want you to see some of the bullet points of what we have out there for programs of study. Arts and science are where the college transfer programs live. The public safety programs, BLET, paramedic, fire protection. We have a lot of business and IT programs that you see over there. Then we do have the engineering and industrial tech programs, health and human service related programs also, including nursing, and a strong vet tech program, which is very rare to find. Because they're not offered everywhere. And then we do also have the admissions and enrollment steps here, just to kind of let you know what steps are required as far as signing up for us here at Gaston College. We do need that residency information, the application for admissions, your final transcript with that graduation date on there. We will send you a new student orientation to complete online. And then there's also some information there about filling out for FAFSA to be able to receive financial aid, as well as some scholarship stuff too. So if you need to, just take a quick screenshot and then make sure that you're connected with us. So that way, you can stay in touch with us. And I'm going to stop my share screen.
Thank you so much, Gaston College. Up next, we have Wofford College.
Okay, let me share my screen here really fast, and we should be good to go. Can you guys see what we have going on over here?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, everybody, hello, my name is Adelaide Dunn. I am one of our admission counselors here at Wofford College in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So you can see where we are. This little terrier head is Spartanburg up at the top part of the state here. And we are a 4-year private liberal arts institution, and we're gonna talk about what that means here in a second. And you can see a lot of our fast facts over here, right? So we're a campus community of less than 1,800 students. 94% of those students are gonna be living on campus all 4 years. We split pretty evenly between in-state and out-of-state, and we currently cover 37 different states, 22 different countries, as well as 21 different faith perspectives. And this right here is a little bit out of date. We currently have 22% of our students representing as non-white or international students. So we are a liberal arts-based education, meaning that while you're here, you are going to become an expert in your field of study, whatever your chosen major is, you will become an expert in that field, but you will also get the chance to take a substantial number of other courses that are going to allow you to become a really wonderful global citizen, which is important in our world today. It will also allow you to gain the skills and the understanding that those classes are offering, making you a competitive candidate, not only for your first job out of college, but your second, third, fourth, however many jobs you choose to have after college. It'll prepare you for all of those. So we do operate on a semester-long system. So you're going to have classes that feel very much like the classes you're probably in right now, with the small difference being that we are on what we call a 414 program. So in the middle of the year, after your first semester and after the new year, you will come back, but instead of starting your second semester, you will start what we call interim. An interim is the chance for our students to become really familiar with a subject that is not what they're doing on their day-to-day. This is a chance for you to get outside of your educational comfort zone and really explore what's out there in the world. This is really applied learning and the chance for you to try something new in a new way with new people. And because we want you to get outside of your comfort zone, these classes are pass-fail. And so you're not going to be worried about your GPA or traditional measures of success during this time. You are going to be worried about this new subject that you're learning and the best ways that you can apply it to your life. So a lot of our classes this year especially are on campus. It gives you the chance to get better acquainted, especially in your first year, with the Wofford community and with the Spartanburg community. But you also have the chance to do internships during this time. I'm sure you guys have heard that more and more often entry-level jobs are looking for prior experience, which seems counterintuitive, but this is a really great chance for you to start getting some of that experience would be during an internship. This is an independently based program. And so if you want to do an internship here in Spartanburg, you absolutely can. If you want to do an internship in your hometown, you absolutely can. And if you want to do an internship anywhere else in the country or in the world, you absolutely can do that as well. You can also do an independent study. And so that's a chance for you to take a subject that you are passionate about, that you are not seeing offered in our courses list, and be able to explore that independently, whether that's here in Spartanburg, whether that's out in the world somewhere. And then last but certainly not least, when we are not in the middle of a pandemic, you can travel during this time. A statistic that I have not mentioned to this point is that we are nationally ranked for our study abroad programs for academic credit. It's something that we're really proud of because we believe that studying abroad is a unique opportunity to the college experience. It's rare that you get to spend the amount of time abroad that we offer to you during your time here after you graduate. And so we offer it in a few different forms. An interim is one of those periods. You're spending about 3 weeks abroad with a classroom of Wofford students and Wofford professors, allowing you to take the best of an academic experience and the best of a travel experience and bring the two together in hopes that one is going to enhance the other. It's a really great way to go abroad if you've never been abroad before, right? This is a much more controlled environment than a semester abroad. It's also really great if you're hoping to go somewhere where you cannot spend a semester abroad. And because we have sent students to all 7 continents and over 70 countries, that's quite a number of places, right? So you get the chance to really do what you want with this 1-month program, our interim program. You get to learn something new. You're learning it in a new way, in a way that allows you to explore with a lot of free thinking and independent spirit, because you're not worried about those traditional measures of success. And hopefully, if you're trying this new thing and you're doing it in a new way, then you're meeting new people while you do it, right? I always say that there's this idea that small colleges, you know everybody and everybody knows everybody else. That doesn't tend to be the case. We have those 1,770 students on campus, and you'll find your group, but you'll also have the chance continuously to explore new friendships as well. So we have our 2 traditional semesters with our interim right there in the middle, creating that 414. And in all of those classes, no matter what kind of class you're in, no matter the subject, we are going to have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and we're going to have an average class size of 18. Those classes are going to cap at 25 though, right? So you're never going to be in a class above 25 students, allowing you really to get to know those that are in the classroom with you, and not only learn from your professors and the materials from which you are getting your education, but from one another in a way that really allows you to take control of your education. You can see here, average high school GPA is a 3.72. We recalculate those for you, so that's going to be recalculated based on your core classes, and we're going to add weight to AP and IB classes for you. And then you can see our SAT and ACT scores here. I want to make sure that I let you guys know that we are test optional, and we've been test optional since 2016. And so if you don't have these scores, if you don't want to take the SAT or the ACT, it's not a test that works for you, whatever the case may be, don't even worry about it. You submit your application admission without those scores and you move right on along with your life, you're an equal candidate for admission, an equal candidate for merit aid. Last but certainly not least, down here at the bottom, you can see our top majors, top 5. We do have 67 different majors and programs to offer. So although these are our top 5, they are not going to be the only ones in which you can get involved. And then certainly we have the Division I athletics piece, and we have our application deadlines here. If you have more questions for me, please go ahead and take a screenshot of my email and phone number. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much and have a great evening, y'all.
Thank you. Before I bring up our next presenter, I do just want to encourage everyone, if you have any questions, please add those to the Q&A. With that said, our next presenter is UNC Charlotte.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Catherine Mason. I'm one of our assistant directors at UNC Charlotte. UNC Charlotte is, of course, located in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we are really proudly recognized as North Carolina's Urban Research University in Charlotte, North Carolina. So what exactly does that mean? Well, we are urban in that there's just 9 miles between our campus in Charlotte, which is on 1,000 acres approximately. We've actually only built on about 500 of those, so we have a lot of room and greenery around us. But we are also just 9 miles from uptown Charlotte. And if you know of Charlotte, if you know of really the distinction of Charlotte, you know that we like to call our downtown uptown. It's literally on top of a hill. It's this beautiful city. But UNC Charlotte itself is actually very much a kind of the best of both worlds. That's why a lot of students and faculty and staff as well are all attracted to UNC Charlotte. Because we have this beautiful residential campus, but we are also very closely situated to uptown Charlotte and all of its wonderful amenities. In addition to that, we're a classified research university. So we actually have the research distinction thanks to our Carnegie classification, and we're the fastest growing university in the state of North Carolina. So in the past 7 years, for example, we built 22 new buildings, and I'll show you some examples of some of those buildings in a minute. But looking at that total enrollment and our growth over the years, actually this past fall, we reached a record enrollment of just over 30,000 students. That breaks down quite a bit to just under 6,000 graduate students and just over 24,000 undergraduate students pursuing their bachelor's degree. But looking at that a little bit closer, you know what, when you look at those numbers and you think about the second largest public institution in North Carolina, looking at those numbers, at least for me in high school, I would have said, you know, how on earth do I find my college family, so to speak? How do I find my fit as a future college student in a large university? But what I hope you take note of is that UNC Charlotte is very much a close-knit community within all of the wonderful opportunities that a large university does offer. So our average class size is actually only 35, and our student to faculty ratio is 19:1. We love discussion-based classes. We're also proudly recognized as a global campus. So we have students coming from 87 different countries worldwide, and representing 49 different states throughout our nation. Also, 40% of our students self-identify as coming from an underrepresented background. So this makes us one of the most diverse public colleges in North Carolina, and we're so proud of that distinction because, you know, being a very diverse, inclusive university, it means that really we really celebrate the opportunities for students to learn from others from different backgrounds, offering different perspectives, and really helping their academic and personal growth throughout college. So earlier I mentioned that we are literally connected to Charlotte. This is one of my favorite aspects of campus. You know, that 9 miles is really key because it allows us to have that beautiful residential campus, a place to call home, but we're also so closely situated to uptown Charlotte. The way that students can really access Charlotte with ease, and downtown or uptown Charlotte, of course, with ease, is through this light rail. It stops on campus 107 times a day, takes you through 11 different stations throughout Charlotte. If you want to go see a Panthers game, go to the art museum, celebrate your roommate's birthday at a restaurant you've been dying to go to, the light rail really has you covered. It's a great way to get in and out of the city with ease, but also get that internship with Bank of America Corporate Tower or anything like that. Speaking of internships, Charlotte, this is a lesser known fact about Charlotte. Charlotte is the second largest financial banking hub in the nation, and that's second to New York City. 9 of the Fortune 500 companies are actually headquartered right in Charlotte. So we have access to that for students to gain experience, not only for their future career and land that job interview senior year of college, but more importantly, learn by experience. So what that means is that 90% of our students take part in experiential learning of some kind in their undergraduate career, not just graduate level, but undergraduate. That's very important to us to truly utilize all that Charlotte has to offer with these major employers. So that means that students are interning or through a co-op, or also working with one of these major employers on a real life project that they have, maybe one of their class projects. Looking at the academics, I am of course not going to go through all 171 majors, but we do have that many. Also 65 master's programs, 22 doctoral programs. They are all pretty much organized throughout 7 different academic colleges: liberal arts and sciences, arts and architecture, Belk College of Business, which is a AACSB accredited program. Less than 5 business programs actually have this distinction. Also our Cato College of Education, College of Computing and Informatics for computer science, one of only 6 of its kind in the nation. Also our College of Health and Human Services, and Lee College of Engineering, which is last but definitely not least. We're proudly known as an engineering school. And University College. This, when I was in high school, I applied to college as an undecided student. If you are admitted to UNC Charlotte as an undecided student, this would be your first stopping ground where you get a chance to work with academic advisors and navigate those next steps. We do also have an honors college with a priority deadline application of December 15th. And a vibrant campus life, 18 different residence halls, plus Greek Village. 80% of freshmen live on campus as well. We also have a lot of things for students to be involved in. So 400 plus student organizations, intramural sports, 18 Division I sports teams, and over 70 study abroad locations as well. Looking briefly at our application process, 4 components of the application are required for the application to become complete: that online application, application fee, the official high school transcript, and the essay. What's optional this past year, we have gone test optional for the fall 2021 year. In addition to recommendation letters and a personal statement, we have non-binding application options. So early action is my recommendation, applying by November 1 of your senior year to find out no later than January 30th. We also have the regular decision deadline of February 1st. And looking at our admitted freshman profile, those students who were admitted last year, this is the middle 50% of them, weighted GPAs, unweighted GPAs, SAT and ACT test ranges. Always happy to put in some links after this presentation if you wanted more information on that. In-state versus out-of-state tuition rates in the living on campus range at the bottom. But the most important thing that I wanted to note is that you do actually have to apply separately for merit-based scholarships. So that allows students to really get that in-depth look at what types of merit-based scholarships we do have. That's through your Niner Scholars portal. You would apply separately there. So that being said, thank you so much for listening. And the best way to stay connected to us is through your Future 49er portal, where you can register for upcoming events. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, UNC Charlotte. Up next, we have Sewanee, the University of the.
Thanks, Jasmine. Good evening, everyone. I'm assuming we're mostly on Eastern time in the Carolinas. I'm Taylor Baird. I'm here with Sewanee, the University of the South. So I'm going to be sharing a 5-minute video. We decided to mix things up for the spring, and hopefully that'll be a little bit more engaging than what I might share with you in just a couple of slides in 6 minutes. But I did want to introduce myself and also mention my colleague, Jeff Heitzenrader. So you might have seen either of our names, whether you're from different areas in North Carolina or South Carolina. So those might be names that you're seeing in your inbox, and we are happy to share more about Sewanee with you and serve as resources after tonight. Jeff is not on this call, but he will be helping with the April session. So if anyone's watching this recording, you can connect with either of us. And just as I share the video, I want to locate Sewanee. So we're in Tennessee. We're a small liberal arts college, predominantly residential, really nestled right in between the cities of Chattanooga and Nashville, Tennessee. But we are more remote, so more of a rural campus. So I think the video is helpful in giving you some aerial shots of campus, a little bit more context that we could capture in a slide of what our community might look like, and kind of where you can imagine campus sitting, along with some information. So I'm going to share that, and then as I trail at the end, I will close this out and share some information in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and share this video with you. All right. Hi, I'm Taylor Baird. I'm a graduate of Sewanee, and I currently work in the Office of Admission. And I get to tell you a little bit about my home for the past 10 years. You might be thinking, Sewanee, the University of the South. What does that entail? Well, the University of the South is so much more than a campus that we had to create new words for it. It's the mountain. It's our home on the Cumberland Plateau. It's the domain, situated between Nashville and Chattanooga. It's a working farm, a 13,000-acre forest, a natural playground with trails to hike and rocks to climb. But above all, it's a community. That's Sewanee. And it's a place that I hope you'll consider calling home one day too. The domain is where we live, eat, research, recreate, reflect, and compete. I mean, 30% of our students are scholar athletes competing on one of our Division III varsity athletic teams. It's a lot, and we like it that way. Our university motto, Eke Quam Bonum, or EQB, ensures that we push each other and appreciate each other while dwelling together in unity. You'll be sharing Sewanee with about 1,700 other 17 to 22-year-olds and the broader community, so there's rarely a dull moment here. While we're nestled in Tennessee, you're still going to be encouraged and expected to engage with the global community. We want you to address global issues and engage in a way that connects Sewanee with the rest of the world. This is a place where everybody stands up for what they think and for what they believe in. That dialogue across difference and that true discourse is the environment that we strive to cultivate. For example, we have deep roots with the Episcopal Church, but we know that it's important to create a healthy interfaith environment here for students as well. With the combination of intellectual rigor and community, Sewanee will help you figure out who you are. As an institution, we've been exploring who we've been and who we are. We want to model that for students, that you're exploring those questions, and that asking questions and seeking solutions is commonplace. You can do that at Sewanee because your professors are teachers and mentors first and researchers second. We believe in educating the whole person through the liberal arts education. That's what happens when you engage with your professors. You get out into the field and you wrestle with the questions that the world hasn't figured out the answers to yet. It's in that process that you will enhance your studies, hone your skills, and increase your postgraduate prospects. In hoping that you'll engage that way, we've made a commitment to you, the Sewanee Pledge, and the commitment is simple. We pledge to provide funding for a summer internship or research opportunity during your time at Sewanee. We also pledge that you'll be able to make global connections by providing access to a semester-long study abroad program at no additional tuition cost. And finally, we pledge that you'll graduate in 4 consecutive years with at least one major. If you do not, you can study for an additional year at Sewanee and no additional tuition cost. At Sewanee, if you give your best in good faith, we will honor that dedication and effort. You won't even have to compete with graduate students for these opportunities, and in many cases, worry about the funding that make them possible. Sewanee believes in access as much as we do excellence, which is why we're committed to meeting 100% of the demonstrated financial need for all admitted first-year students. We also recognize academic achievement, so in addition to need-based aid, we do offer academic scholarships as well. Our goal is to accept the most talented students for whom Sewanee is the best choice, and then to provide the financial aid package that makes it possible for you to enroll here. That's the Sewanee lens. We want to find strong fit students and guide you through the search and application process. Sewanee is a common application school and there's no fee to apply. We also know that test scores aren't always the best indicator of a student's academic success. And that's why at Sewanee we're test optional. That allows you to choose to submit the ACT scores at all. So if you're ready to take this journey and opt into this experience, I hope you'll choose to apply to Sewanee. I can't wait to see how you'll make this place your home and bring your perspective to our community. Wonderful. Thanks everyone for hanging around and watching that and joining us tonight. Like I said, I'm Taylor Baird, and my colleague Jeff Heitzen-Rader both work with students from the Carolinas. I'm going to drop in the chat a link to all of our publications. So if you want to dive a little bit more into the specific numbers or our view book, since I didn't share that screen visibly with you, I encourage you to do that. And if you have any questions, I'll be around in the Q&A. And thanks so much for joining tonight.
Thank you. Up next, we have Christopher Newport University.
All right, well, good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. My name is Sasha Kurick, and I am one of the assistant directors here at Christopher Newport, and I'm responsible for all the recruiting in the Carolinas. So should you choose to apply, I'll be the person working with your application in the future. So jumping right into things, who are we? Christopher Newport University is one of the public liberal arts and sciences universities located in Newport News, Virginia. So that's southern coastal Virginia, right in between Williamsburg and Virginia Beach. So hopefully not too far away from you, but a beautiful location. In total, we have about 5,000 students on our residential campus. We're primarily an undergraduate institution. So of that 5,000, only about 200 are graduate students. So really focusing on that undergraduate experience for you. Thinking about what it is we can offer to you academically, skipped a slide there, there we go. Thinking about what we can offer to you academically, we have about 90 different programs on our campus, everything from business and engineering to the performing arts and philosophy, so a great range available. All of our students at CNU will technically come in undeclared. Our students don't officially declare a major until second semester sophomore year. Now, if you already know what you want to study, that is fantastic. You are ahead of the game. You can take those classes in your first 2 years. It's simply not official until sophomore year. But if you're unsure or debating between programs, just know that every student on our campus from day one has an academic advisor who's there to help you not only make that transition into the collegiate academic environment, but there to talk to you about your interests, your goals, what classes you're liking, and help you figure out what combination of programs is best for you. It's very common for our students to have double majors and minors. There's a lot of flexibility within our curriculum on purpose. And a lot of that comes from the fact that we are a liberal arts and sciences institution. My colleagues from the other liberal arts institutions today did a fantastic job of explaining what that means, that idea of getting a broad-ranging education and great skills across a wide range of areas. So we really just want to make sure you're prepared for anything and everything when you graduate. Looking at the classes themselves, about 60% of our classes have 19 or fewer students in them. And on the flip side of that, only 3% of our classes have more than 50 students. And the largest classroom on our campus has 100 seats in it. So no huge lecture halls, and very rare to have even some of those bigger classes. Thinking about life outside of the classroom, we want to make sure that you're enjoying your time with us when you're not in class and you're not studying. As I mentioned earlier, we are a residential campus, and about 85 to 90% of our students live on campus with us. It's required that you live on campus through your junior year, and it's optional for seniors, and about half of them choose to stay. Our freshmen and sophomores all live in suite style buildings, so that's the 2 bedrooms connected by a bathroom, no hall bathrooms or communal bathrooms. And upperclassmen are typically in apartment style buildings, can be anywhere from 2 to 6 bedrooms, always a private bedroom, private bathroom, fully furnished, washer and dryer in the unit. They are incredibly nice, and there's a reason our seniors like to stay on campus and take advantage of those. Outside of that, we want to make sure you're getting involved, pursuing your passions outside of the classroom, and finding ways to enhance your education. We've got over 200 clubs and organizations for you to choose from. That's a huge amount for a smaller school like us. So definitely something for you to get involved with. We also, though, want to make sure that you're getting those practical experiences through things like research, internship, study abroad, or service. And again, because we have so few graduate students on our campus, those opportunities are available to you starting your first semester freshman year if you're interested. The most important thing to know about us at CNU, though, is that we are strong believers in the sense of community, service, and leadership as being an important part of your education. We like to say that we want you to lead a life of significance, meaning we want you to see your education as a stepping stool that's going to allow you to give back to your community and make a positive impact in some way. Service is not a requirement in any of our programs or any clubs on campus, but it really is part of the culture and DNA. And almost every organization and academic program has a way for you to get involved in our local community. That whole idea of service and leadership really creates a strong sense of community on our campus. We like to joke that we're a community of door holders, meaning we'll stand around however long we need to wait for you as you're leaving a building or entering one. But it's really simply about the fact that we like to look out for one another. We want to support each other, and anything we can do to help a fellow captain is something that we're going to do. The final thing I want to share with you is some information about the application process. Now, for your reference, all this information is of course available on our website, but the most important things to take away is that one, we have a holistic process. So no minimums, no cutoffs, no magic combination of things that we require of you. We're simply looking to figure out if we think you can be successful in the classroom as well as on our campus. CNU has been a test optional institution for over 10 years. So if you choose to submit test scores, fantastic, but this is nothing new for us. One of the most important things is that we encourage all of our applicants to have an interview with us. For my juniors in the room, that interview process actually starts over the summertime in June. So you don't have to wait until you've applied. And we want you to take advantage of that because interviews are required if you're interested in our scholarships. Last bit of information for you to take away is that our scholarships require you to apply to them. We have an honors program as well as a leadership development program and a few smaller, more specialized scholarship programs that you can apply to during the main application process. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me tonight. Contact information available for me here, and we would love for you to come and visit us on campus as we are open for small and individual tours at this point in time. So thank you so much, and I look forward to answering all your questions.
Thank you so much, Christopher Newport University. With that said, that concludes the presentation portion of our session today, but we are going to transition to the Q&A. So continue asking your questions in that Q&A section. In the meantime, I want to invite all of our amazing presenters to join us. Feel free to turn your cameras back on, and I am going to pose a question to the group. Please respond in the order in which you presented. The question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
I think one that I would have to remember from just recently would be our virtual Discovery Day. I know we've been doing a lot of virtual things this year, but it was really neat the way we were able to tie in so many of our allied health programs into how they responded to the COVID-19 pandemic. Our students, unlike many other universities, were still active, very much in their clinical sites throughout this entire pandemic, serving our community. And that was something that we saw a lot of increase of interest in with our prospective students. And so it was a great opportunity. We had some great turnout there, way to connect with students and also connect with kind of things that are happening in our day-to-day. So that's kind of been one of my most recent, more favorite events that we've had on campus.
For Gaston College, I would probably say, just because we have a lot of student activity that goes on here, I really feel like Club Day is one day whenever we actually come out and we show out, because we want to show all the students that it's not just about the academics. Of course, we want you to succeed. We want you to excel. That is a part of it. But we also want you to enjoy the experience. So we do have a really awesome Club Day. Everyone gets together. We have competitions in between the clubs that are just, for fun, but it also is very educational. So it lets you know how you can get involved and how you can connect with other peers who might be in your same program, might have your same kind of academic background, might have same interest in other areas as well. So it's just a really cool way to show out, get colorful, get out there and get excited about your education and your experience.
I have a lot of favorite Wofford traditions. I'm an alum in addition to being an admission counselor. But I think my favorite after all these years is still graduation. There's a lot of intricacies that go along with it. But this one, I think, really outstanding piece is the fact that we invite alums from the class of 50 years before to join us for the graduation weekend. And so, for example, I was the class of 2018. And so the class of 1968 joined us on campus. And it was really exciting to hear the balance between like what was going on in their world when they were graduating and what was going on in our world when we were graduating. And that's always a point that they try and drive home, and then they walk in and they sit with us at graduation. And it reminds us that Wofford sticks with you forever. And in the way that any college you choose, your education will stick with you forever. It's a really nice kind of reminder on that, on what a day that can feel like an end, it's really a beginning.
I think UNC Charlotte, probably my favorite tradition, is very similar to Gaston College, basically where it's really a nice welcome to all of our incoming students. We call it Gold Rush, and we love it. Basically, coming to a large university, you can be really nervous, and how are you going to find your college family, so to speak? How are you going to find your people? How are you going to get involved? Where to start, right? So with Gold Rush, that is a chance for all the clubs to line up. There are performances. You really get a sense of Niner Nation pride, and it's strong, really right from the start. So that's something that we do, and I love it. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Wonderful. I had to think about this, so I'm glad I had a little time in our rotation. I'm going to pick a tradition, and it's the order of the gown. So watching the video, you probably saw some of the architecture from Sewanee. It looks a lot like Oxford. So a lot of our traditions are actually modeled after that as well. So a lot of our faculty actually teach in their academic gowns, and students can earn them every year before they graduate. So the idea is that every student actually earns their academic gown prior to a baccalaureate and graduation. So you can actually earn it as early as sophomore year. And I keep saying the word earn since it's based on your academic performance. And it's really supposed to be, to hold your peers accountable in the classroom and to show up and learn and really invest in your education. In the sense that you could earn your gown, but you could also lose it based on your two consecutive semesters GPA. So it's a really neat way to kind of show up in the classroom. You'll often see students wearing them on campus if you were to visit, typically just in the academic setting. And so you'll see them take them off and kind of throw them over their shoulder or backpack going into the dining hall. But I think that's a tradition that's very centering and similar to what Adelaide mentioned. I think it's something that connects generations of Sewanee students in the idea that we pass down the gowns. So it shouldn't be like a monetary concern that students can get it. It's often passed to you by an alum or a mentor or a current student.
So CMU's my favorite tradition is a two-parter. So our freshmen all move in a week early before classes for a week of orientation. And part of what they do during that is our president, who lives about a mile from campus, hosts all of the freshmen at his riverfront house, beautiful property, for a very fancy dessert reception with all the faculty chairs. So it's an opportunity to just come meet your new students, meet some faculty. The peanut butter pie is the best, just saying. And then to cap things off during senior week, so the week before graduation, the president once again invites all the seniors over for a champagne toast about 2 days before graduation. So you get to start your senior career on the beautiful James River with him and finish it off with a champagne toast before graduation.
Nice. Thank you all for sharing. So with that said, that concludes our virtual college fair for today. But I do have a few closing announcements. So the first, a quick survey will appear as you exit out of the Zoom session. It's approximately 4 questions, but please respond. It's very helpful for us as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings in the future. Again, I also want to remind you all to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, a recording will be available at strivescan.com/Carolinas. In closing, must thank our amazing presenters for joining us. Thank you all so much. But I also want to thank all of our attendees for joining us. With that said, I hope everyone has a great evening. And again, thank you for joining us. Goodbye.